Community organization. Part 3. Maintenance of records. Effective records management is crucial for organizations to maintain transparency, ensure compliance, and facilitate efficient operations. It encompasses the systematic control of records throughout their lifecycle, from creation and maintenance to eventual disposition. Objectives of records management. Evidence of activities. Records serve as documentation of an organization's transactions, decisions, and operations, providing accountability and transparency. Legal compliance. Proper maintenance ensures adherence to legal and regulatory requirements, safeguarding the organization against potential legal issues. Operational efficiency. Organized records facilitate quick retrieval of information, supporting decision-making processes and daily operations. Risk management. Effective records management helps in identifying and mitigating risks associated with data loss, breaches, or mismanagement. Preservation of organizational memory. Records act as the institutional memory, preserving the history and evolution of an organization's policies and practices. Types of records. Administrative records. Definition. Documents related to the internal functioning and governance of an organization. Examples: policies, procedures, internal reports, meeting minutes, and correspondence. Operating and teaching records. Definition. Documents that pertain to the core activities and services provided by the organization. Examples: in educational institutions, this includes lesson plans, curriculum materials, student assessments, and instructional resources. Process records. Definition. Detailed accounts of specific processes or cases, often used in fields like social work, legal practices, and healthcare. Examples: case notes, client assessments, treatment plans, and progress reports. Implementing a robust records management system involves classification, organizing records based on categories such as function, department, or type to facilitate easy retrieval. Retention schedules, establishing guidelines for how long each type of record should be maintained before disposal or archival. Access controls, ensuring that only authorized personnel can access sensitive records, maintaining confidentiality and security. Disposal procedures, safely and securely disposing of records that are no longer needed, in compliance with legal and organizational policies. Non-governmental organizations. Meaning. NGOs are entities that operate independently from government influence, typically functioning as non-profit organizations. They are established by private individuals or groups with the primary aim of addressing social, environmental, cultural, or humanitarian issues. The term NGO was first introduced by the United Nations in 1945 to distinguish these organizations from government bodies. Characteristics of NGOs. Voluntary formation. NGOs are initiated by individuals or groups who come together voluntarily to pursue shared objectives, reflecting a commitment to specific causes or issues. Independence. They operate autonomously, free from direct governmental control or influence, allowing them to advocate for various causes without political interference. Non-profit orientation. NGOs do not distribute profits to members or stakeholders. Instead, any surplus funds are reinvested to further their mission and objectives. Altruistic goals. Their activities are aimed at improving societal well-being, addressing issues detrimental to communities, and promoting public good without self-serving interests. Roles of NGOs. Advocacy and awareness. NGOs play a pivotal role in raising awareness about social, environmental, and political issues, influencing public opinion, and advocating for policy changes. Service provision. They often deliver essential services such as education, healthcare, and disaster relief, especially in areas where government resources are limited or absent. Capacity building. NGOs work to empower communities by providing training, resources, and support, enhancing local capacities to address their own challenges. Research and monitoring. They conduct research to inform policies and monitor government and corporate actions, ensuring accountability and transparency. Humanitarian assistance. In times of crisis, such as natural disasters or conflicts, NGOs provide immediate relief and long-term rehabilitation support to affected populations. Policy development. By collaborating with governments and international bodies, NGOs contribute to the formulation and implementation of policies that promote social justice and sustainable development. Approaches in community organization practice. 1. Social work approach. This approach emphasizes empowering individuals and communities to enhance their well-being. It focuses on capacity building, resource mobilization, and fostering self-reliance among community members. Social workers facilitate participatory processes, ensuring that interventions are community-driven and sustainable. 2. Political activists approach. Rooted in advocacy and mobilization, this approach seeks to address systemic injustices and power imbalances. Political activists organize communities to demand policy changes, protect rights, and challenge oppressive structures. The goal is to empower marginalized groups to have a voice in decisions affecting their lives. 3. Neighborhood maintenance or community development approach. Focused on improving the quality of life within a specific locality, this approach involves residents collaborating to address local issues, enhance infrastructure, and promote social cohesion. Activities might include organizing neighborhood cleanups, establishing community centers, or initiating local economic development projects. 4. Neighborhood development approach. Similar to the neighborhood maintenance approach, this strategy emphasizes planned interventions to revitalize communities. It often involves partnerships with local authorities and stakeholders to implement housing projects, improve public services, and stimulate economic growth, aiming for holistic neighborhood improvement. 5. System change approach. This approach targets the underlying systems and policies that perpetuate social issues. By advocating for legislative reforms, policy adjustments, and institutional changes, practitioners aim to create environments where equitable opportunities are accessible to all community members. 6. Structural change approach. Going beyond system tweaks, the structural change approach seeks to transform the foundational socio-economic and political structures that cause inequality. This might involve challenging capitalism, addressing class disparities, or restructuring governance models to promote social justice and equity. Models of community organization. 1. Locality development, community development locality. This model focuses on enhancing the well-being of a community by promoting broad participation and collaboration among residents to identify and solve local issues. It emphasizes self-help, mutual support, and building a sense of community. 2. Social action model. Aimed at addressing imbalances in power and resources, the social action model involves organizing marginalized communities to challenge and change unjust policies or practices. It often includes advocacy, protests, and other forms of collective action to bring about social change. 3. Social planning model. This approach involves experts and planners working to address social problems through data-driven analysis and strategic planning. It often includes the development of policies and programs to meet specific community needs, relying on technical expertise to design effective interventions. 4. Saul Alinsky's conflict confrontation model. Developed by community organizer Saul Alinsky, this model emphasizes direct confrontation and conflict to address social injustices. It involves empowering communities to use tactics like protests and negotiations to demand changes from those in power. 5. Community building model. This model focuses on strengthening the relationships, networks, and social capital within a community. It aims to build trust and cooperation among community members, fostering a shared identity and collective efficacy to address local issues. 6. Women-centered/feminist organizing model. This approach centers on addressing issues of gender inequality and empowering women within communities. It involves organizing around women's specific needs and experiences, advocating for women's rights, and promoting gender equity in all aspects of community life.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in next video.